Two cymbals can look almost identical, cost 10 times as much, and sound like completely different instruments. So here is every major type of cymbal explained. Hi-hats. Two cymbals mounted face-to-face, worked by a pedal that pulls them together or lets them apart. Press down and they lock into a tight, controlled chick. Let up and they loosen into a loose, washy sizzle. And you can live anywhere in between, which is why the hi-hat carries the rhythm in almost every style of music. Here's the detail that makes it work. The bottom cymbal is usually heavier than the top. That weight gap is what gives you a crisp, defined chick when the two snap shut. Funny thing is, the hi-hat started life on the floor. In the 1920s, it was a low contraption called the low boy, played only with the foot until drummers raised it to stick height around 1926 and suddenly had a whole new voice. Papa Joe Jones with Count Basie is the man who turned it into an instrument, playing time on it instead of the snare. Today the reference is the Zildjian new beat. Designed with the legendary Louie Bellson in the 60s, and probably the most recorded hi-hat in history, bright, clean, do anything. The Paiste 2002 sound edge takes a different route. Its bottom cymbal has a rippled, wavy edge that lets trapped air escape for a sharper chick you can hear in a loud band. The choice of rock drummers like Stewart Copeland of the Police. And the Meinl Bizants, dark hats, trade all that brightness for a smoky, dry, low-sound jazz and neo-soul players love. Same instrument, three completely different personalities, and that's the theme of this whole video. Ride? Next to the hi-hat sits the ride, the other great timekeeper and usually the biggest cymbal on the kit, often 20 to 22 inches. The point of a ride is a clear, repeating ping. You can play fast without it turning to mush. That's why rides are heavier and larger. More mass means the stick gets a defined attack instead of a wash of noise. And a ride is really three instruments in one. Play the bow, the main surface, and you get that classic ping. Move to the bell, the raised center, and it turns bright and cutting, perfect for driving a chorus. Hit the outer edge hard and many rides will open up and crash. The ride as we know it was basically invented in the 1940s when bebop pioneer Kenny Clarke moved his timekeeping off the hi-hat and onto a suspended cymbal to free up his hands. And modern drumming was never the same. He got fired from plenty of gigs for it at the time. The model completely changes the sound. The Zildjian a ping ride is the bright, glassy, articulate end. A clear attack that cuts through loud pop and rock. Go dark, and you get the Zildjian K Constantinople, low, complex, and buttery, the holy grail jazz drummers chase. Legends like Elvin Jones and Tony Williams built their entire sound on dark K's Zildjian rides. And for the modern dry sound, the Meinl Bizant's Vintage Pure sits almost wash-free, all stick and no cloud. The compromise is simple. A heavy ride gives you great definition and a powerful bell, but it's hard to crash. A thin ride crashes beautifully, but the wash starts swallowing your pattern. Choosing a ride isn't about finding the best one, it's about picking the compromise you can live with for a few thousand repeated notes. Crash. Hit a crash near the edge and the whole thing flexes, throwing out a fast explosion of high frequencies that cuts over guitars, vocals, and everything else in the room. Then it fades. That's the job. Mark a moment, make it feel bigger, get out of the way. Thickness changes everything. A thin crash opens fast and responds to a light touch. A heavier crash needs more force to wake up, but once it does, it's louder and projects harder. The word crash only became common in the 1950s once cymbals grew big enough to explode like that. Today, for bright, aggressive, maximum projection rock, the Zildjian A Custom, introduced in 1990, is the modern classic. The Sabian AAX Explosion is one of the most popular metal crashes ever, thin and fast, and John Bonham built the sound of classic rock on bright, powerful Paiste 2002 crashes, proof of how much a single cymbal can define a band. Then there's the dark side. The Zildjian K Custom Dark is lower, richer, more complex in the studio and fusion. Favorite. And the hand-hammered Meinl Bizant's Extra Dry goes further still, A raw, trashy, organic burst with a fast, dirty decay, almost an effect in itself. Neither is better. The accustomed is easier to hear in a polished mix. The dark ones have more personality but can get lost in a wall of sound, which is why most drummers run 2 or 3 crashes at different sizes. A small one sits higher, a big one lower, so the accents don't all sound the same. Splash. Splashes are tiny, usually 6 to 12 inches, and that small size does one specific thing. It speaks instantly and vanishes almost as fast. A quick, bright accent with almost no sustain. They're actually old. Zildjian was making splashes back in the trap kit days of early jazz, but it was Stewart Copeland who dragged them into rock, scattering them across his kit like little exclamation points inside the Police's grooves. For models, the Zildjian A custom splash is the clean, bright go-to. The darker Sabian HHX complex splash trades that polish for more texture. If the crash is an exclamation point, the splash is a wink. China. Its defining feature is the upturned outer edge curling the opposite way from the bow. That unusual shape changes how the metal vibrates, producing an explosive, trashy sound full of irregular overtones. And in cymbal language, trashy is a compliment. The name is literal. The design descends from cymbals used in traditional Chinese music, and Zildjian sold them as China boy cymbals as far back as the 1930s. In the modern era, it became a metal staple. Alex Van Halen and Mike Portnoy made the China part of the language. The Zildjian Oriental China trash is the classic explosive voice. The cheap, unpredictable Wuhan China is the one half of metal secretly runs because sometimes ugly is exactly right. But the China is also where design gets wild. When Neil Peart of Rush worked with Sabian on his Paragon line, they built the 20-inch Diamondback, a thin china fitted with 4 tambourine jingles and 4 sizzle rivets. The result is a darker, shimmering, half china, half sizzle voice he could both crash and ride. Change the shape, the hammering, the rivets, and one cymbal type becomes an entirely different instrument. It's the cymbal you install when you want people to notice. Flat ride. Back to timekeeping, but stripped down. A flat ride is exactly what it sounds like, a ride with no bell at all. Paiste invented it in 1967 with jazz drummer Joe Morello, and the missing bell is the whole point. No bell means no loud accent and far less volume, leaving you the tightest, driest, most controlled stick sound of any ride. That's why the flat ride lives in jazz. Roy Haynes made it famous, and even Charlie Watts of the Rolling Stones rode one for years. The Zildjian K custom flat top and the Paiste 602 flat ride are the classic references. It's the ride cymbal equivalent of lowering your voice and somehow making everyone lean in closer, or sizzle cymbal. Now the opposite instinct, instead of taking sound away, you add metal to it. A sizzle cymbal is a ride with small rivets set into holes near the edge. When it moves, those rivets rattle against the bronze and add a long, shimmering shh that trails after every note. Some players rivet a ride permanently, others just drape a chain over it, the sane way to get the sound without taking a power drill to a $400 cymbal. That sizzle does 2 things. It sustains longer, and it fills the room with a soft wash, which is why it ruled old-school jazz and big band, where the ride had to bloom and breathe under a wall of horns. Elvin Jones used rivets, and Mel Lewis rode one so famous that Buddy Rich called it maybe the greatest ride cymbal of all time. The cymbal speaks first. The rivets keep whispering after it's gone. Crash ride. It sits between a dedicated crash and a dedicated ride. Enough weight to hold a ride pattern with the tip, enough flex to open into a crash on the edge. That makes it perfect for compact kits, small stages, and a beginner's first single cymbal. Paiste's Giant Beat, the multifunctional line a young John Bonham used before he switched to the 2002, is the famous example. The compromise is obvious. It won't ping as sharply as a heavy ride or open as easily as a thin crash. A good crash ride feels like two voices sharing one piece of bronze. A bad one feels like a crash and a ride met halfway, and both arrived disappointed. Stack. Two cymbals mounted tight against each other so they choke each other out, killing the sustain and leaving a short, dry, almost electronic chip. Tighten the mount and it gets shorter, loosen it and it rattles. This is a modern sound, and Meinl's artist concept stacks put it on the map. Benny Greb's Crasher hats take it to the extreme. 4 small cymbals with different shoulders that collapse against each other on every hit, landing somewhere between a shaker, a hi-hat, and a programmed sample. Thomas Lang's 18-inch Super Stack is the big, aggressive version, and Matt Garska's Fat Stack is all over modern progressive drumming, but half the fun is building your own. A China over a crash, a splash flipped upside down. Stacks live in modern pop, gospel, fusion, and metal because they don't imitate a cymbal. They give an acoustic kit a sound that behaves like production. Bell. Small, thick, and heavy. A bell like the Zildjian Cymbal or the Paiste cup chime does one job and does it loud. A single clear cutting ping that slices through even distorted guitars. Progressive and fusion drummers like Terry Bozzio and Danny Carey of Tool arrange several in different sizes, almost like pitched percussion. It's less of a crash and more of a ding. Just a ding capable of traveling through 3 walls and becoming part of somebody else's afternoon. Trash crash. A cymbal with holes cut straight through it, like someone started building a normal cymbal and then got aggressively interested in ventilation. Those holes shorten the sustain and add irregular overtones, landing somewhere between a smooth crash and a China. Sabian's Ozone and Zildjian's A Custom EFX are the go-to examples. You hit it like a normal crash. It just immediately sounds like something has gone beautifully wrong. Low volume. These are covered in hundreds of small holes that dramatically cut the volume. Zildjian's L80 series, launched in 2015, claims up to 80% quieter. They don't sound like pro recording cymbals, and they're not meant to. What they do is move and rebound far more naturally than a rubber practice pad, perfect for apartments, lesson rooms, and late-night sessions. The drums may be loud, but the cymbals are usually what get the neighbors knocking.